And just like that, it's a wrap, everybody. Welcome to PGN. My name is Kyle. I am coming at you with another Fastcast Tuesday, June 15th. And we were able to wrap up E3 today. So we got the last little bit of content and announcements and updates that are going to be coming to games that we already love and new games that are going to be hitting our consoles this year or 2022. So plenty to get excited about, plenty to dive into. As I said yesterday, we had a shorter fast cast, but there wasn't really a lot to talk about. There was plenty announced at the Indie Showcase, and we did touch base about that. Capcom went a little later yesterday, so I wanted to touch on that first and really what Capcom talked about yesterday for day 3 of E3, and then we'll come back to today being the final day and just wrap things up with a nice little bow. So, Capcom yesterday spoke about Resident Evil Village, which, again, destroyed in sales this year. Destroyed in sales. Very popular game, and really the most successful game this year. And stated that when buying Resident Evil Village, you get access to RE-Verse. Now, that's their online multiplayer mode where you're facing each other and taking each other down in the Resident Evil world. So, just a quick note on that they're trying to even build up more sales with Resident Evil Village, and that's really a great incentive to have. Outside of that, we knew we were going to hear some of Monster Hunter stuff, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. We got a deep look at the story. We knew this was a game that was going to be coming out, but we really got a deep dive into the story, as well as Monster Hunter Rise and the collaboration with the stories between the games and updates that are going to be coming. So that was nice. And then Capcom, of course, rounded it out with the Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is it's really a Japanese game, Japanese themed game, but you're playing as a lawyer. It looks like there's some exciting mini games in there to really just make the full experience feel authentic. So exciting there. It looks great. And Capcom, honestly, for an industry that's not necessarily a huge presence at E3, I feel like they did what they had to do this year, and it looked great, and it was very exciting to watch last night. It rounded out a day that was mostly talk about social justice and gender equality and stuff. And again, as I said yesterday, maybe not specifically the right platform to have this conversation when people are looking for big game announcements, but at the same time, I understand this is a conversation that needs to be had. So I understand the precedence of it and why it occurred. So we won't really go too much into social justice here because that's just not my forte. I don't want to have those type of debates. But back to today. We all waited around for Nintendo. We got some of what we wanted. We got some things we didn't want. So I am actually going to touch on both. But I want to talk to you guys about what we did see. We saw a Super Smash Bros. And Tekken crossover. The characters that are going to be coming over, I can't even say his name because I'm going to butcher it. But just look at the trailer for that. Tekken is going to be the next integration into the Super Smash Bros. Series. So that looks amazing. Life is Strange, which we previously talked about being a very good-looking game, very beautiful game, by the way, where your decisions alter the story and really just the entire layout of the campaign. This is a game that's coming to Switch. They're remastering Life is Strange, and then True Colors, when it releases in October, is also going to be coming to Switch. So very cool. Kind of crazy that Nintendo's able to bring this because the trailers that we saw this weekend, this game looked amazing. So the fact that the Switch could handle those visuals, good on them. I mean, obviously they're probably going to be probably brought down a little bit being on the Switch. But speaking of ports that are coming to Switch, we also had Guardians of the Galaxy, which was previously announced, going to also be released on the Switch, which is huge. I mean, I was already excited for the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and I assumed I was going to get it on my PlayStation or Xbox. But now there's a tiny part of me that's like, maybe you get it on the Switch. You know, play it on your couch, play it wherever you want to go. I'm not sure how it'll run, but there's a reason it's coming out, so might as well try it out. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Mario Party Superstars was announced. Now, I'm a little confused with this. It looks great. They remade 5 previous Mario Party game boards, including Peach's birthday cake there. That looked kind of cool. Looks like they're integrating new mini games as well as a little bit of a visual upgrade. You can like use emotes in game and stuff like that. But it's a standalone game from the Mario Party that we already have, unfortunately. I wish this was more of an add-on to what we already have to expand the minigame universe that's already in the current Mario Party IP that's on Switch, and really just add to it, add new boards, and just blow that game up, right? Why do we have to release a whole new game? I don't know if that's technically necessary, but either way, I'm going to get it. It looks amazing, and I'm a huge fan of the Mario Party series, and I think this is going to be a much-needed addition to that. Quick touch on Just Dance 2022, going to be coming to the Switch. They said it's returning to the Switch, so I really never knew that it left, but we'll be seeing that also grace the Switch's presence, which makes more sense on the Switch with the motion controls and everything. Mario Golf Super Rush, which comes out this month. We got to see them really show that off again. We've seen the trailers for it, and I think we didn't get anything new, just the different game modes and features that are going to be coming with it, updates for the future with new characters. Very fun game. I played Mario Tennis and enjoyed it. I expect that Mario Golf Super Rush is going to be just as enjoyable. They announced updates that are going to be coming to games, so Doom Eternal being one of them, which I wanted to note. The first season for campaign is going to be released on Switch for Doom Eternal, so if that's a game you have, they said it was going to be coming out today. So go look, find it, download it, enjoy it. And then Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the remake, is going to also be coming to Switch now. So you'll be able to enjoy all of your favorite PS1 Tony Hawk moments now remastered and on the Nintendo Switch. So go grind away and take a couple face plants. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which we already saw previously announced with Ubisoft, given the Rabbids aspects. They showed it again, this tactical shooting game that we have previously played with Kingdom Battle is now going to get a predecessor, and it looks very good, very enjoyable. Hopefully, just as before, you have weapons that you can upgrade and change and really add a depth of strategy to the game. Hyrule Warriors is having their first expansion. Now, Hyrule Warriors is not Breath of the Wild. It's a little bit of a different play. It is really a story about what happened in the land that you play Breath of the Wild 100 years prior to those events. So you kind of are filling in the blanks. You're getting a feel for what's happening, and they're going to give the first expansion, and then the second one's going to be coming out in November, I believe they stated. And then we got to the end, and we got our first more so in-depth look of Breath of the Wild 2. It looked gorgeous. It looks like it's taking place in Hyrule and the same beautiful area that we played the first game. Nothing story related here. We didn't get to really tell what's going to be happening, major characters, anything like that. But they did state that they're advancing to the skies. We're going to be able to travel and really circumnavigate through the skies of Hyrule this time. So adding another layer, and I think that's very important, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I still feel like I haven't traveled every square inch in Breath of the Wild, the first one. So this is great. But it did come with a little disappointment at the end when they stated that we have to wait a little bit longer until 2022. So this is a game that was supposed to come out at the end of 2021. Sounds like they're working really hard at it. And of course, Nintendo is no exception from other gaming industries that had issues and hiccups and hurdles that they had to take over during the COVID pandemic. So I think this is probably one of the games that did suffer a little bit. And sure, we'll wait till 2022 to get an excellent, beautiful game. Does that mean that we have to wait longer for the Switch Pro? Who knows? Because that was not announced nor hinted on. And I want to use that as an opportunity to say what wasn't brought up. A little bit of disappointment, but no Switch Pro, which they did state specifically they were focusing on games, so you can't be too upset about that, though you can still hold out hope for a little bit of excitement. No Metroid Prime, like big game. They're remaking a 2D version of Metroid, so it's another new one. So that'll be nice, but we want like open, not 2D side scroller. We want a full Metroid game. Still nothing in that scope. And no Animal Crossing. Nothing from Animal Crossing, which was a super disappointment. I previously stated that if this is a game they are going to truly support for 3+ years, as they stated, what is that definition of supporting the game? Does it mean just supporting the online features? Or does it mean like supporting it with regular updates and content? Now, it feels like it's the first one because we've reached that 1 year for Animal Crossing, and they've had all their seasonal characters come and visit. Now we've had a couple come and visit twice, with Easter having come and gone, and it's kind of like, what's next for the game? We don't know, and it looks like this is it for Animal Crossing. Possibly, we didn't get anything, and I would say if we don't see anything by the end of summer, this is probably the state of the game, and that's fine. It's a very enjoyable game, and you still have people who jump in there, and sometimes if they haven't played for a while, they say, I'm going to reset my island and start over. And that, it still makes for a fun experience, but it's a little disappointing. And a side note for Animal Crossing, our first review for Animal Crossing, being Animal Crossing, was supposed to come out this coming weekend, the 20th. Now, given that the 20th is a busy weekend, we're going to have our first weekly update come out that weekend. The first review for Animal Crossing has actually been pushed back. It's going to be the 27th, so an entire week. I need the extra time to make sure that my weekly update is really up to snuff for you guys. Once I get that template laid out, I can do it each week with ease. And I don't have enough time to balance both at this point in time. Though I have the gameplay for Animal Crossing recorded, I just need a little bit more time. So you'll get our first weekly update this Saturday the 19th. And then Animal Crossing, the first review for PGN for Animal Crossing will be the following week, which will be the 28th. So just a quick note there, and I'll also bring it up again during our weekly update. But that wraps it for Nintendo, really. Those were what we got, what we didn't get. All in all, okay, right? It was good. It was enjoyable. They touched on Nintendo. They touched on their go-tos, their Marios, their Wario. There was a Wario mini game, WarioWare game. We did get a little bit of Metroid and stuff like that. We got to see what we knew we were going to see for the most part. And then obviously Bandai Namco. Sorry, butcher that. But they have their game House of Ashes, which is really a dark horror game set for October 22nd release. You have these Iraq American fighters that are over in Iraq, and they fall into this dark underground temple. It's very, very spooky, very bone chilling. It's probably going to make you jump out of your screen, or feel like they're jumping out of your screen rather when you're playing, and just pee your pants a little bit. But it looks enjoyable, and we know they're going to talk about this in detail at their conference. It's really what they've announced and toted previously this weekend, so we look forward to further details on that. But other than that, that's E3 weekend in a nutshell. And honestly, I mean, there's room for criticism every year, and this year is no different. There's places where improvement could have been made, or there were awkward moments, and I was worried there was going to be no cringe moments this year because everything was virtual, but that wasn't true. We still got them. We certainly did. So, but all in all, I enjoyed it. It was nice to have E3 back. You can't complain when we didn't have it last year. So the fact that we got it back is so nice. And we get to see games, guys. Let's not forget that. This last year, the world of video games and the video game industry was barren. It was naked. We were playing games that we've previously had. Releases were scarce. Some did come out. I will give the world that. I'm not saying nothing came out, but the library for which we were receiving games and the vast number of games that we usually do get, we weren't getting over the last 12 to 16 months, and it slowed way down. So we saw a bunch of games, most of these games that are going to be released this year, 2021, and a few that we can taste in future years for 2022, being Starfield, 2 Point Campus, Breath of the Wild 2, right? They're giving us stuff that we're likely going to see in the next 12 to 16 months. So no reason to get upset. No reason to get upset whatsoever. Happy to have it back. And honestly, E3 was enjoyable. All that's left for today is the E3 award show, which I'll probably watch and see what games get what and what industry gets what. But enjoyable. And now we let things roll. This weekend was a soft launch, just to swing over to PGN. was a soft launch for our channel and our platform on various media, and now we can hit the ground running. We can absolutely hit the ground running. As far as what my plans are for PGN, and if you have any interest in joining the team and even contributing content, stay tuned. I'm going to have a fast cast either later this week or early next week, kind of laying out some groundwork for that. But other than that, we're going to talk about E3 in our weekly update coming this Saturday, where we're going to highlight all things gaming over the past week. And we have several segments. It's a longer show. It's going to be on our YouTube channel, but it's going to go into more of a deep dive of everything we've seen in the last week of gaming. So stay tuned. Be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you for listening this weekend. Anybody who's dragged yourself through all my fast casts, I hope that it was somewhat informative. I was able to tell you what things that you may have missed, or gauged your interest so that you go back and you watch certain trailers or conferences. That's why I'm here, to inform you, the community, and the gaming world. So I had a great weekend. It was a blast. I look forward to bringing more content to you guys. This is not the end. This is merely the beginning. We've got big things coming from PGN. And as always, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you can to support us. And we're going to continue to support you. Take care, everybody. Much love. Thank you.